नमस्कार एनआरएन टेलिभिजनको प्रस्तुति विदेशमा नेपाली कार्यक्रमको यो आजको विशेष श्रृङ्खलामा स्वागत छ। दर्शकबिन क्यानाडामा नेपाली मात्र हैन विश्वभरिका नागरिकहरू आउन चाहन्छन् र बस्न चाहन्छन्। क्यानाडाको इमिग्रेसन सिस्टम र ल कस्तो छ ताकि विश्वमा रहेका सबै नेपाली अथवा अरू नागरिकलाई आकर्षित गर्न सफल भएको छ। आजको अङ्कमा हामी यही विषयमा छलफल गर्नेछौँ, कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ। आजका अतिथि हुनुहुन्छ मिस्टर ल्यारी बटकोस्की। उहाँ क्यानेडियन इमिग्रेसनको लागि एकदमै एक्सपर्टिज र सक्सेसफुल लयर हुनुहुन्छ। आजको अतिथि उहाँसँग हामी कुरा गर्नेछौँ। उहाँलाई स्वागत गरौँ कार्यक्रममा। वेलकम टु आवर प्रोग्राम।
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Yep. Mr. Butkwosky, we are here to Canada and get this chance to interview with you for the NRN TV and Nepal television show. How do you feel regarding this matter?
I'm honored to be a part of this, and I'm hopeful that during the course of our conversation I'm going to be able to provide your viewers with some interesting and informative details about how our Canadian immigration system works.
We are also pleased to interview with you as a Canadian lawyer like you, who have been dealing is the most of the case of Nepalese for the decade. I had know that you know much about Nepal and Nepali. What's your perception to Nepal and Nepalese people?
It's an interesting question. I've been dealing with Nepalese people for about 13 years. I've met hundreds, maybe thousands of them during the course of this time. My impression of Nepali people is that they're a hospitable people, they're a hard-working people. The people I've met are people that just want what normal people in life want, which is a good, normal life where they can work hard and provide for their families. I've learned a lot about Nepal over the years that I've been meeting Nepali people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've never been to your country, and my dream is one day to go there and to see everything that I've been hearing about.
Of course, we'll invite and welcome to Nepal.
Great.
Yeah. Can you briefly tell us about Canada and Canadian people?
That is a difficult question. Canada is the second largest country in the world. We've got a very diverse country. It's a very large country, and Canada is a nation of immigrants. It's a nation that's been built by virtue of immigration. It's a multicultural country where we have people from all over the world, and it's a real melting pot of different cultures, religions, races that come together and come to form Canada.
Yeah, it's the unique country.
It's very unique because it really is a country where we can walk out on the streets today here in Toronto and see people from all over the world within a very short period of time.
Okay, let's discuss about the Canadian immigration system. As you know, that many Nepalese people are exciting to know about the immigration or immigrant to Canada. What are the process for immigrant to Canada?
There are many different ways to immigrate to Canada. The way I describe Canadian immigration, it's like a pie, and there's different slices of this pie. There's people who immigrate to Canada by virtue of the fact that they've got family members here who sponsor them to come here and to live. There's people who immigrate to Canada by virtue of investing in Canada, investing significant amounts of money. There's people who immigrate to Canada by coming here to work or to study first and then applying for immigration afterward. There's people who come to Canada by virtue of their skills and professional background, and by virtue of these skills and professional background, they're considered as people in need in our country, and they can apply to immigrate here. So there's many different ways to immigrate here, and it's a fairly complicated immigration system, and it's an immigration system that's soon to be undergoing some major changes. So those are basically the major categories, and it's just very important to be very careful about studying and analyzing how it is that you want to try to immigrate here before you do anything. The immigration numbers generally are in the average of 200,000 people a year who are supposed to immigrate to Canada. Those numbers go up and down, and that number is comprised of the various different categories of immigrants that I just referred to a few moments ago.
Yeah. Why does Canada need to immigrant? It's the fulfill of population gap or opportunity, job opportunity?
I think it's a combination of both. Over the last number of years, the population hasn't been growing significantly in order to fill the labor needs. And Canada needs immigrants because employers need workers, employers need skilled workers. We need people to come to our country to create jobs. So it's really a combination of different factors between a birth rate that's probably not as substantial as we needed, and employment needs which aren't being fulfilled by Canadians or landed immigrants who currently live here.
Why do you think people are willing to immigrate to Canada? What are the Canadians' attraction to that people to love this Canada?
That is another good question. To me, the best way to answer that question is to say this. There's a lot of negatives about Canada. People come here, they complain about the weather. There are things about life in Canada that aren't so easy. People have to work very hard. The cost of living is very high. But one of the things that we have here in Canada is peace and security, and people like the idea that you can come to Canada, work hard, make a living, and live a normal, stable life with your family. And there's a good healthcare system, there's opportunities here, and to me the most important thing about life in Canada is that you have peace, security, human rights. Those are things that we don't question. But we have to work hard in order to make a life here. The life in Canada is not a life with gold paved streets. People, I think, abroad have this idea that if you come to Canada or to the United States, that life is easy and you're going to come here and make millions of dollars. And speak to any immigrant who comes to Canada, and they'll tell you a very different story. You will work hard, but you will have the opportunity to make a life for yourself, and that's what most people are looking for.
Yeah, as usual, the human right is very strong. How do you evaluate the human rights system in Canada overall?
Well, I think what we have here in Canada is we know that if there is a problem, we have a police force that you can go to and ask for help. We have a government that's generally willing to listen to us. There are things that Canadians take for granted that people from various countries in the world don't have. We have a functioning government and a functioning structure here, and if you have a problem, you're going to be able to get help. If you're discriminated against by virtue of your religion, your race, you can take action. There's a human rights tribunal you can go to. Canadians have rights and the ability to have their rights protected, and that's something that people from other countries around the world would
Are seeking to save.
Yeah, would like to have.
Most of the people think Canada is a prominent place for study, investment, family settlement like this. What is your perception about it?
I mean, I'd agree with it. We're very lucky. We have many very good schools here. People are eager to come to Canada to study. It's not necessarily an easy task. The cost of education has gone up significantly over the years, and if you're coming here as a foreign student, you have to have significant amounts of money in order to pay for your studies. But the schools are very good. It's a very good place for families to settle. As I said before, You know, one has the ability to live a safe and secure life, but along with that, there's opportunities to work as well. Canada hasn't been hit as hard by the economic downturn in the world as other countries have. And it's a place where the country's trying to attract investments so that we can continue to grow economically. There's a lot of opportunity, but it's not a place where life is easy either. But we're fortunate to have what we have here.
Well, I think many other countries are also asking for immigrant. How to compare Canadian immigrant law with other countries?
That is a difficult question. I'd say that during the course of my practice, I've been in business for 20 years. Generally speaking, Canada's been a fairly open immigration system where we're really trying to attract people to come here to live, to work, to rejoin their families. Our new government here is in the process of changing the immigration laws, and one of the things that they're telling Canadians is that they're trying to model our new immigration system after the Australian, English, and other systems. And they're trying to modify our system because they believe that our system has been somewhat too open and liberal. And so the answer to the question is a little bit complicated. To me, it's a system that's been fairly open and fair, but it's a system that's in the process of change right now, and no one's quite sure what these changes are going to mean for the future immigrants who are potentially attracted to coming here.
I came to know that the second thing is the Canada is changing in the system of immigration. It's time and again. How does it affect for the Nepali?
Well, the first thing I would say is it's very difficult to predict how these changes are going to play out and exactly what's going to happen. What I would say from what I've looked at is that the changes aren't going to affect Nepalese in any way differently than they're going to affect anyone else. They're going to affect everybody. But the plan is for our government to make this system more difficult, more complicated, but faster. But the fact is, when we're talking about refugee cases, sometimes the faster that immigration tries to make them go, the more difficult things become. The more difficult it is for a client to hire a lawyer, to tell their story, to get the necessary proofs. The system's going to change, and the system is, in my opinion, not going to be a system that's going to be as open and welcoming for Nepalese nor anybody else. The new system will only affect people that claim under the new system. The bizarre or strange thing is that everyone who's claimed under the old system is supposed to have their claims heard under the old system. No one's quite sure what's going to happen to them and how their cases are going to be heard, because the old system is going to be ripped up and thrown away, and this new system is going to be put in place. And so no one from our government is telling us exactly how my old clients who've made refugee claims under the old system are going to have their claims heard under the old system when that old system isn't going to exist anymore. I'm in the dark, and all of my colleagues are in the dark, and the people from the government are in the dark, and the people that work at the Immigration Board are in the dark, and hopefully we're going to soon see the light and be given information.
Okay, do you help Nepalese people abroad who want to immigrate to Canada? If so, what are your services for Nepalese immigrant in Canada?
I have a full service firm here. We have an office where I have staff, other lawyers, and I help immigrants who try to immigrate to Canada from abroad. I help people who are in Canada claiming asylum or looking for immigration solutions to their problems. If it comes to abroad, I often help people to try to come to Canada either to work or to study or to obtain permanent residence or immigrant status by submitting landed immigrant applications. Most of the time, those applications are being done on a skilled worker basis. That means somebody who who has the necessary skills and educational and professional background to be able to qualify to immigrate here. I'll also help people immigrate here as family members of Canadian or permanent residents who are trying to sponsor them to be able to come to Canada to live. So, I've been in business for 20 years and I do all types of immigration work from A to Z.
Is there anything to add before the conclusion?
Well, I don't really have anything to add other than to say hello to your viewers. It's been a pleasure for me over the 12, 13 years that I've been working for your community to get to know many Nepalese, to learn about a lot about your country. It's a country that I understand is very beautiful. It's a place that I dearly love to come and visit one day, and the Nepalese that I've met through the years have been tremendously hardworking people, good people who are looking for a chance in life to pursue their potential, and it's been my pleasure to get to know those people, and I look forward to doing a lot more work with the people in your community over the next number of years.
Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you. Definitely we'll make one schedule to visit our country.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.